Welcome back to Talk of the Town for this Tuesday, August the 11th. I'm Gary Stevens. Patty Vandenberg will join us at the bottom of the hour with what's new around Holland. And let's tie up a couple of loose ends. Last half hour, we chatted with Avery Lowe of the Holland Museum. That segment now is on our website at WHTC.com, and we'll render the Zoom video a little bit later on to give you a link to that at WHTC.com. Our chat at the last half hour of the WHTC Morning News with Holland BPW General Manager Dave Koster is now available on our webpage at WHTC.com, along with our earlier chats with Congressman Fred Upton and with the Master Gardener Jan Meeuwsen with the Garden Party segment. So you can listen or download at your convenience for free. And Tuesday mornings, we will have open line a little after the 11 o'clock news, but we will have right now the next hour or so, or actually the next 50 minutes or so, conversation with the Master Gardener Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed, Washington Elm in downtown Zeeland. Jan joins us via the Google Meet connection. Jan, good morning and welcome back to Talk of the Town.
And thank you very much.
And I see the star of the show is over your left shoulder in assuming the normal position.
Yes, he just got brushed, so he is not happy with me.
Oh, wait a minute. I thought that they like being groomed and preened. Or they want to do it themselves.
He doesn't mind it when the guys do it, but he hates it when I do it.
Hold it. He doesn't like it when the girl does it, but likes it when... Okay, yeah. Fine. Mm-hmm. We won't go any further than that. 395-1450, 395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450. Let's first take care of a couple of things for the benevolence, as they say. Accepting items for island dogs and save a gato.
You bet, still I'm accepting that. They got kind of wiped out again with that last tropical storm, Isaiah, whatever it was.
Yeah. Isaias, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, they still need any kind of, old medication that you might have used on your dog or cat that you didn't use all of it. We'll be glad to take it. Flea and tick medication, heartworm medication, any antibiotics we might have left over. And that's for human as well as animals. And we will take expired medications also. We are not proud. So we will take anything you've got, gently used, collars, leashes, whatever you've got, bandage material. I'm just not going to say no to it right now.
When will that shipment go down? Have you got a time frame yet?
I've got a pile of stuff way back there, and it's going out hopefully this afternoon or tomorrow morning, and then I'll have another load ready to go next week.
So it is almost like a weekly thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about like that, yeah.
395-1450. If you have a question for the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, she'll be happy to take it at 395-1450. We still have not found a home for Alice the cat, have we?
No, she's just a sweet little 12-year-old female cat, orange and white, just as cute can be. She loves to cuddle, loves to lay in your lap, loves to sit out in the sun, not a real high active cat. She probably would do better as an only pet and not around small children, but it's not like she's going to hurt them, but she's just not used to it. So she's just a sweetheart. You can see pictures of her on her Facebook page at DeBruynSeed.com. Give me a call if you can, find it in your heart to give this poor little girl a home. She's being kind of kicked out of her home due to changes in the family. So she needs to find a home. She's living in the basement right now.
Yeah. Older cats, once they're cuddly kittens. Oh yeah, that's easy to, you'll be able to find kittens a home, real fast. Once they get like 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, that becomes a different story, doesn't it?
It's a whole different story. People, it might come with some sort of medical problem. She is perfectly healthy. So you'll still have a good, 10 years with her. So it's, she'll be a sweet companion for somebody.
And keep her indoors, right?
She is an indoor cat only, yes.
Okay. Because sometimes, we had my first wife and I, Jan and I, had a calico named Patsy. Even though she was declawed, she was still a mouser. And
Well, good for her.
yeah, she still got them and made sure we didn't have the mice bothering us, which was nice. Even at her advanced age, we lost Patsy at age 18, but even when she was 15, 16, she was still a mouser.
Once a mouser, always a mouser, yes.
395-1450, 395-1450. Jan, we addressed this during the garden party segment on morning news, but we get a different audience, obviously, with Talk of the Town. And I do need to bring this up. Some communities, basically along the main water transmission line with the city of Wyoming's plant over in Port Sheldon, they're under a sprinkling ban beginning today. What would you advise homeowners and property owners that can't water their lawns right now? How desperate are they? They're going to be, oh no, I can't water my lawn. I got to shut it off, get the timers off. It's not necessarily a bad thing, is it?
It's not necessarily a bad thing. Your lawn can go dormant. That's not a problem. Our cool season grasses are designed to go dormant when it gets hot and dry outside. So don't worry, it can go for a month, without any water. And then it's going to need a little bit of water after that. But you can go a month, and I don't think that this thing is going to take a month. And by then we might get more rainfall anyway. So don't worry about your lawn going dormant.
How much of an impact will the sprinkling ban be for maybe people who are using that to make sure that their plants and vegetables and flowers are properly watered?
Yeah, that's going to be a big problem because that cannot go dormant. Your tomatoes and peppers and beans and pumpkins, everything, it cannot go dormant. So you're still going to have to go out there and probably with pails of water or watering buckets, whatever you got, and get out there and water your garden desperately. Yes.
Now, then it becomes a different question. You go from one extreme to another because you don't have maybe the regular routine of the sprinkler. You could possibly overwater them.
Oh, you can easily overwater. It happens at my house all the time. I kind of love them to death. So do check them. Tomatoes and peppers kind of like to be evenly moist all the time, but your beans, not quite so much. Stick your hand in the ground, stick your finger in the ground, see if it's wet. If it's damp, you don't have to water it, but do check it. I have a tendency just to dump water everywhere, and it's not needed everywhere all the time.
We're talking with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen from DeBruyn Seed, 395-1450. Pardon my ignorance on this, but can ordinary tap water be okay for plants and vegetables, or do you need to put something in the water so that the plants and the vegetables and the fruits are happy?
I like to get my watering buckets and whatever all ready the night before. And then it has a tendency to precipitate out some things that you may not want on your garden. So, and it works a lot better even on your house plants. If you get your watering bucket ready the night before, get it full of water, anything precipitate out you don't want in there, and it should be ready the next day. I know it's hard with a large garden, but you could probably take a hose out there. I wouldn't worry about too much, but tap water really isn't well water would be perfect but you're not going to get that. So just let it sit out overnight and you should be fine.
And it should be room temperature. You shouldn't try to freeze out or boil out the plants.
No. And I know there's a lot of things like for your house plants, they say, oh, just take ice cubes and put it out at the bottom of your plant. And then it will, as it melts, it gradually waters your plant. And I thought, what a great idea until I started looking into it. No, don't do that. Room temperature is best. Yeah.
All right. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yeah, I was wondering if there's anything else besides tomato worms that eat the leaves off the tomatoes?
Well, I had a lady yesterday that was having problems with red wigglers, just worms eating her tomato leaves. But yes, there are other things that will eat your tomato leaves. So do keep an eye out. But usually it's not just all at once. It'll just be a little bit at a time, slowly over time.
Okay.
What
Is
are
there
your
anything you
tomatoes
can put
looking
on
like?
them?
Pardon?
Is there anything you can put on to stop it?
Well, if it's a caterpillar type thing, BT will work. Bacillus thuringiensis, that will definitely work. For anything else, any kind of beetle or anything else, then you're going to have to use 7 or something that's approved for garden use.
Okay. Thank you.
I appreciate
You're
the call.
welcome.
395-1450, 395-1450. Again, ignorant question, but then again, I'm pretty good at ignorant questions, Jan. You treat your plants, or maybe your tomatoes and stuff like that. Okay, it's time. They come to harvest. It's time to pick them. Do you have to wash them out before you can eat them?
Oh yeah, I always wash everything off. Yes.
Okay, I mean, in other words, the image of, and I'm thinking of apples. I think more than anything else.
Yeah.
Of walking along, grabbing an apple. No, you don't do that, do you?
Do I personally do that? No, I usually wash things. But now that you say that, when I go in the spring, when my peas come, I usually just grab them and eat them as I'm picking them.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying you as in the general you,
Yeah.
not in the Master Gardener.
It is best to wash them off. And if you do use some sort of insecticide, and I don't care what you use, there is on the label, there will be a list, if it's approved for vegetables, of when you spray it and how many days you have to wait before you can eat the produce. So do check that out on the back of your label.
I'm thinking along the lines of people who are picking blueberries that might want to eat some of the blueberries that they pick, and then they go to the cashier and saying, "Oh, how many blueberries you picked? You got a little thing, but you ate like about a bushel."
Yeah, 5 pounds of it. But other than that, but you'll pay for that.
Yeah, you'll pay for it in other ways.
Yes, in other ways.
395-1450, 395-1450. I do want to do one more thing before we get Patty in here with what's new around Holland. We didn't have a chance to finish this particular segment during morning news, so why don't we try to finish it now, shall we? During morning news, we had our week's awards winner. The insect of the week was the 4-line plant bug. The fungus of the week, the powdery mildew. The weed of the week was crabgrass. We talked about brown patch as the lawn disease of the week, and the problem that will just not go away, or as I would say, the category of the never-ending story, and that is black or brown spots on maple leaves. There are some other things that we need to talk about. We'll start, first of all, about issues. We don't like Bugs Bunny. And let's talk about Bugs Bunny and his pals.
Well, earlier in the spring, we had all those little baby bunnies and they were eating everything in sight. And now we have the big bunnies and they still eat everything in sight. So keep that in mind. I mean, a lot of people just don't even fence off their gardens or put, at the very least, deer or some sort of liquid repellent or granular repellent around their garden. Bugs will eat everything. I do not know of a thing bugs will not touch in your garden. So be prepared for little Bugsy there.
Not only Bugs Bunny, but Babs Bunny and all of their friends.
The whole group. It's usually not just one. There's usually a group of them. They travel in herds, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a rabbit problem, it's bad. Fences are best. Make sure you kind of bury them in the ground because rabbits can dig holes and get under a fence. They are cunning little guys.
And they don't care about they're not just carrots. They'll eat other things as well.
Just about everything, yes. They'll eat like part of your tomatoes, or they'll eat beans, or they'll eat anything you got. Yes.
And don't wash the plants out for them. They can eat them raw. So be
Yes.
and no saboteurs, by the way. I will mention this, although it's not a nuisance. But I was driving to work this morning, and I saw the fox. Oh, fox came by. Little fox running across Chicago Drive. Like, come on. I can understand a little possum, but it was a fox.
Those are cool to sight, but they eat the bunnies, so I love the fox.
I will, if I see the fox again, and this was in Jenison, I will direct him a little bit more.
Direct him right to my house, please.
Go west. West, young fox. Go west. The mollusk of the week, we have slugs.
Oh, they're just horrible. This hot, humid weather, they're loving it. They eat at night, so you don't see them. All you see is the holes, especially like in your hostas. If you want to go out at night, you can go out at night and pick them off and throw them in some sudsy water, or you can put out the beer trap. Put out a saucer of beer so they can drown in it. Or you can put out some slug and snail bait around your plants. If you've got a dog, make sure you use the animal-friendly one. Otherwise, you're going to have a huge vet bill. But animal-friendly slug and snail bait, and you're all set.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hi, good morning. Jan, I have a question about my butterfly bush.
Sure.
It gets so tall, and so I've been cutting off down because I want it to sprout lower.
Okay.
Am I going to kill it?
No. They kind of thrive on. They're a weed, so don't worry about them.
Oh, they are?
Yes.
Oh, good.
But don't worry about them. You can cut them all the way back down to the ground in the fall if you'd want, but don't think you want to probably go that drastic. But yeah, cut them down to where you want them to be.
Okay. Well, I just have had a bundle of butterflies, different kinds, and they just love the thing, and they acted like they were drunk on the nectar. They were bumping into each other, and it was really funny.
I've had that with mine too. Yes.
So, but I can cut it down then without killing it.
You can cut it down without killing it. Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jan.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much for the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. No, I don't think we're going to need to send down those butterflies to Nectar's Anonymous, shall we say. Two more things, and then we'll get to Patty on what's new around Holland. Your handy tip of the week.
Okay, when spraying for insects in the garden, especially in the flower beds, be sure you spray the foliage, not the flower itself. The bees and the pollinators will get on the flowers and do their thing. So you don't need the insecticide up there. You do need it on the foliage of the plant. Do it early in the morning before the pollinators are out, and we'll be all set, and we'll be saving those bees and butterflies.
And finally, the product of the week.
BioAdvance 3-in-1. This is our go-to product this week, and almost every week. It's an insecticide, a miticide, and a fungicide. So it will take care of most of the problems you're going to get on your flowers. Do it once every 30 days, and you're all set.
The true triple threat, as they say.
Yes.
And, it's appropriate this time. We're talking about maybe football coming or maybe not being played. The triple threat is that BioAdvanced 3-in-1. And that's our awards for this week on the WHTC Talk of the Town program with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen. Jan, we had a story on our wires about, I'll explain in a couple of moments. We do need to get to a call. Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Yeah, Jan, I've got a white Robinum in my front yard.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I noticed the new buds are on for next year. When can I cut that back? Because the frost got quarter of it in the spring. We had that freeze in March.
Yeah.
When can I cut it down or cut it back?
Whoa. It's a little late for that if you're seeing buds already.
Yeah, I'm seeing buds already.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah, it's setting buds, so you're gonna have to wait until after it's blooming next year. Right after it's done
Okay.
blooming, then trim it down.
Okay, how far can I trim it down?
Well, you can take up to a third of the bush at any one time. I mean, you could take
Okay.
some of the branches all the way down to the ground if it's too thick. Um, but yeah, otherwise, you just kind of go back to where that just a little off the top basically is what you do. Don't go
Okay.
back too far.
Okay, because I keep it trimmed. It's about 4 foot tall
Okay.
and maybe 3 foot round, and I keep it really neat. It was fine until we had that frost in April, and it looks kind of sick right now. But half of it looks good and half of it's dead. So I want to know what
If you've got dead parts, if it's truly dead, get rid of it.
Yeah, it's truly dead. Yeah.
Truly dead, cut that out. Most definitely. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you very much for
welcome.
the call. 395-1450, 395-1450. Jan, this story came over our wire services a couple of days ago. The Federal Trade Commission is advising consumers of the risk involved with unsolicited mystery seeds. The agency recommends not to plant the unsolicited seeds that have recently been sent to dozens of people in several states from Red China in packages marked as an item of jewelry. This past Friday, the FTC issued a statement saying the seeds could be one of several online scams. Have you seen those?
Actually, I got some. It said it was from China, and I got the little package in the mail, and it said stud earrings on it. And I thought, what did I order? I don't remember ordering anything. And I opened it up, and yes, there were seeds inside. So when I got to work the next day, I called our State Department of Ag rep and asked him what to do. And he said I needed to take the package that I got it in, because they want to know where it's from, and then the seeds. And he wants to mail it to David Burt at the U.S. Department of Ag in Romulus, Michigan. And I got the address. It's a 11200 Metro Airport Center Drive, Suite 140, Romulus, Michigan, 48174. He really wants to see all of the seeds and the packages. I talked to somebody yesterday that has gotten 5 different packages in the mail of these. So I told her, I've got the phone number, I've got the address. If you want to just drop them off here at DeBruyn's, we'll send them for you too. But yes, they do desperately want to see what they are. If they're got any, bugs, or if they've got any diseases in them, or, who knows what they're doing here. So.
Yeah. According to our wire service, one possible scam example cited in the report says a Chinese vendor might send seeds instead of whatever a person here really ordered. Then the vendor could show an online payment company proof the vendor really did ship a product to order to the U.S. buyer in an effort to avoid paying out a refund.
Okay. Well, I don't remember ordering earrings, but one lady said she did get, that I talked to, she got a little necklace or bracelet or something, real cheap little thing in with, she got a package of bulbs. So it's a bunch of different things that they're sending out. So if you do get a package, and it says China Post on the top of it, save the address label and send the seeds into the U.S. Department of Ag. They want them.
Have you figured out what type of seeds they are?
Mine kind of looked like some sort of daisy, maybe. I'm not quite sure. I'm just kind of looking at everything on the package of seeds was written in Chinese, so really hard to distinguish what was going on there.
Well, under normal circumstances, we would have some exchange students at Hope College that might be able to
Yes.
figure that out if we had normal circumstances, which we don't have now. So, can't have our friend Ricky, who was our exchange student last couple of years from Holland Christian High, could have helped us out there too. But
could have helped me out, yes. But I sent them in, so.
All right. 395-1450, 395-1450. Okay, what can you plant now? Not those mystery seeds from China, but what can you
put
plant
those
now?
in the ground, folks. Do
No,
not plant those. But you can put in peas. Mine are about 3 inches tall right now. Got those in. You can plant radishes, lettuce, spinach, kale, collards, turnips, beets, carrots. And you might get one more picking of beans if you quick put them in. So don't let that garden space go to waste. Once something's done, put something else in. You can keep harvesting, like and things like that are in the ground, carrots and beets, you can kind of mulch over them even after the snow, and you can dig them out. I remember digging out carrots for Thanksgiving dinner. So yes, you can. The garden will just keep giving in the fall. So, and we don't get so many insect problems or animal problems in the fall. So it's a little less stressful gardening.
395-1450. If you have a question for the master gardener, Jan Meeuwsen, what can be harvested now? What's the best?
Right now, obviously the beans can be harvested. Your tomatoes can be harvested. You can either pick them all green or you can wait till they all turn red. If you're going to pick them green, wrap them in pieces of newspaper and then just put them in a cool, dry spot. That newspaper will keep that ethylene gas that they give off to make it go back to make it red. So you'll get a nice red tomato that way. Your jalapenos need to be picked every day. At least mine do. They have been a gift that keeps on giving. But you can, cucumbers, eggplants, that can be picked right now. Don't let them get too big, otherwise they get too many seeds inside. Kale, if you've got that growing, you can cut that down. And how you do that is you keep cutting down the outside of the plant and leave the inside. And it's called cut and come again. And it will just keep coming up and you get more and more. So that's kind of nice. Leeks, if you've got those, and onions, if they're falling over, it's time to harvest those things. Some things it's hard to tell, like cabbage, is this done or is this not? Once it hits a size you like, get it out of the garden and start eating it. That works for me. Carrots, if you wait too long for carrots that are getting ready now and you see that little shoulder start peeking up above the ground, you can start harvesting them. They're fun. Otherwise, the rabbits will get them.
Ew.
Yes.
We've already had a discussion about the bunnies right now. So
yes. So just kind of if your potato plants have died back, then you can start digging those up after a week or so, and getting those out of the ground. Those are so much fun to do. I love doing those. Radishes, my goodness, you put them in and 30 days later they're ready to pull out. Those are something you can just keep on doing. And like Swiss chard, and again, another one like collards and kale and lettuce and spinach. You can, pick the outside leaves and you'll cut and come again. So that's fun. Summer squash, again, don't let them get to be 12-inch long zucchinis because nobody wants those things. Smaller ones, folks. As 6 to 7 inches, good size summer squash. Pick them when they're there that way.
yes, the long zucchinis that you put them in the same category with some of the Christmas stuffs you give away.
Yeah, the fruit cake. Yeah,
Yeah,
those go
it
to
goes
the
along with it.
neighbors.
Yeah.
Yeah, get rid of those. Pick them small. And I know sometimes you go out there one day and you think, I'm going to pick those tomorrow. And then you go out the next day and it's like they grew double in size overnight. So when you see that they're a size to pick, get them out of the garden.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener.
Good morning. We have this nasty weed called plantain, yeah. Is the best way to dig them out?
You can if you like. You can kill it also. The crabgrass destroyer actually will work on that too. It works on other weeds besides crabgrass, and that would kill it. It's got the big guns in there, so that would kill it. You got to make sure you get it down on the leaves of that weed, and they're kind of near the ground. So make sure you spray the weeds if you're going to spray it. But yeah, you can dig it out if you wish. Might be kind of a lot of them out there to dig up.
Oh, they're terrible. They're all over.
Oh, yeah. I know it sounds like silly, but crabgrass destroyer will kill all those weeds for you. You can just walk around and shoot them like a laser gun at that.
But now, we have a dog, and I always worry about stuff that,
Does he eat the weeds?
Would it hurt?
No, once it's dry, it's fine.
Okay.
So keep him off while you're doing it, but once it's dry, it's fine, unless he's eating the weeds, and then you got a big problem.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have little bunnies here, too.
Oh. I highly doubt they're eating those, so I don't think I'd worry too much about them.
Okay. And I have another question. Is fall the best time to separate hostas?
Yes. Yeah. Wait till we get cooler weather. They don't like the 80-degree weather, so wait until we get, the cooler days and nights in September.
And daylilies too, the Stelladorios in the fall too?
Yes. I usually wait until September to do those. You bet.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're appreciate welcome. The call. 395-1450, 395-1450. Is it too early to start worrying about the box elders and the stink bugs?
Might be a little early, but they should be congregating soon. Yes.
I'm saying that because we're talking, on August 11, and normally as we get towards the end of August, that's when we have to start worrying about them. So I figured
it's coming. Yeah, don't worry, they are coming because it's been a bumper crop for insects this year. So I'm assuming that will be a bumper crop.
Good morning. You're on the line with the Master Gardener, Jan Meeuwsen.
Hey, good morning, Jan. I have two problems I'd like to hit you with. One of them is a native thing, and one of them is an invasive.
Oh.
That horrible Oriental bittersweet.
How fun. And you've got that.
Thanks a lot. I have been having fun. You chop it down, and it just keeps coming back, and you can't get to the root.
No, once you chop that down, make sure you paint the end with some Roundup. Just full strength. Don't dilute it at all. Paint the ends of anything that you chop down so it doesn't sprout up from there anymore.
Okay.
So at least you get kind of a little bit ahead of the time.
Yeah, and there's a lot of it, so I'll be out there painting for a while. But
yeah. Yes, you will. Unfortunately, that stuff's terrible.
It's nasty. The other thing that I have is a native plant that it's the same sort of thing, and it's like a running briar.
In your lawn, or where is it?
Well, it's on the edges. It keeps trying to creep into my lawn and into my perennial garden, and that's the same sort of thing. If you pull it, you find out that along the runner, it's rooted in half a dozen places.
Yes.
And if you cut it, it just sprouts out twice as big. So.
And is it grass-like, or what is it like?
No, it's like similar to like a blackberry vine.
Oh, fun. Okay.
That sort of thing. Leaves of 3 like poison ivy, but it's not poison ivy, but it's not really ivy. Scratchy brush.
Okay, so then I'm going to want you to do the brush killer on that little guy. Make sure you don't get it on your good plants. but get that brush killer on that, even if you have to either paint it on or just do a laser gun. Make sure it's not a windy day, and just really make sure you get it right on those leaves.
Okay, so it goes on the leaves. You don't have
Right
to cut
on
it.
the leaves. Yes.
Okay. Okay, yeah, they're nasty, and they've been around for years and years and years, and you just can't get rid of them.
Sometimes you have to be just really diligent and just patiently just keep going at it, and you'll get to it. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
And
Thanks for your
sometimes
help.
in the winter, if you want to get out there in the winter and just chop it right down to the ground, like especially with a bittersweet, you are much ahead of the game in the spring, because then you can see where it's coming up again and you can hit it.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for the
You're
call.
welcome.
395-1450. Unfortunately, we won't be able to take any more calls because we're out of time on this segment. We appreciate those participating. Jan, as always, we appreciate the time you spend with us. And look forward to the Jan Meeuwsen Garden Show Saturday morning at 11. And the garden party on WHTC's Morning News, as well as the Yard and Garden Hour next Tuesday here on WHTC. Jan, have a good week, and we'll talk next Tuesday.
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jan Meeuwsen on 99.7 and 1450 WHTC.